with the Commanders Eagles Thursday night football game coming up. One of the biggest games so far this season. Two high flying teams in the NFC East, both moving away in terms of moving away from the pack of the rest of the teams in the NFC East. Clearly, these are the two teams that are going to be playing for that divisional title coming down the wire. Both teams sitting on 7 wins. Eagles have 2 losses, while Commanders have 3. Commanders haven't had their bye week yet. They're haven't had their bye week yet. Their bye week comes, I believe, after week. It comes in a few weeks. It comes after after week 13 or 14 or something of that sort. And look, the Commanders, they've been high flying this season, being under their new head coach, new quarterback, rookie quarterback, first year head coach at the Commanders. Dan Quinn is a coach who's good experience as a head coach in the NFL. He's made a Super Bowl. He's coached the Falcons team that's had multiple seasons where they won playoff games. People don't remember he went to that Super Bowl, but that following season, I believe, or it was 2 seasons later, in that run, he also took his Falcons team away to the Rams, Los Angeles. It was the high flying Rams that season. They had a really great season that year, and he went into their home and he beat them, and then they were 1 possession away from beating a Philadelphia Eagles team that went on to win the Super Bowl that year. So Dan Quinn has proven that he can coach football at the highest level, that he can coach competitive teams in the biggest of stages. And now he is the head coach of this Commanders team. He's brought in Cliff Kingsbury. That's revolutionized what this Commanders offense has looked like compared to the past. Now, obviously, in the past they haven't had a legitimate franchise quarterback. Now they get in a guy like Jaden Daniels, and he has been excelling at the highest of level. Jaden Daniels has been running away with Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. Thrown for about 2,147 yards, has 9 touchdowns on the year, only thrown 2 interceptions, has a 68% completion percentage as well, with 101 quarterback or passer rating. That will work, and that will get you winning football, especially when when you're surrounded by. And I have to say, this Washington Commanders team is not a super array of talent by any means. I think they have some. I think they have some very, very good pieces in there, like a Terry McLaurin on offense, defensive linemen, forgetting their names, but Deron Payne as the D tackle. They have some pieces in there, but this is not a team that has. This is not a team that has a super team of talent. They have some good quality players, but it's a combination of Jaden Daniels, these good pieces that they have, and the excellent coaching that makes this team what it is. But there are, everybody loves them because they have been the fairy tale team this season. But, there is ways that they can be attacked. That secondary had some issues. That's why they went out and got Marshawn Lattimore. I believe Marshawn Lattimore can change it because I still think he has some good football in him. But that's gonna be something that remains to be seen. That would be something that remains to be seen. And I do question some of their wins this season. Now they're won 7 games. They've only lost 3, but they've beaten up on some pretty bad teams. over this season. And yeah, so defensively through the 10 games, they rank they rank not they rank they allow 21.7 points a game. Not, that's solid. That's solid. That's in the upper echelon of defenses in terms of team defenses. That's a really good number. And then they have that rookie quarterback you know being able to run that offense and make them a team that's difficult to beat. They take advantage of the teams that they're supposed to take advantage of, and then against these teams with a little bit more quality, like a Pittsburgh Steelers, like a Baltimore Ravens. They did have a good win against the Cincinnati Bengals, but again, there's 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 that was back when Cincinnati were really at their lowest. They were 0-2 at that point. I think, or they were 0-3 at that. Yeah, 0-2 at that point. That loss made them 0-3. They did destroy the Cardinals, who are now looking like a good team. We didn't know it at that time, but now they're 6-4. They did destroy the Cardinals. Absolutely destroy them, 42-14. But no, I'm looking forward to this Eagles team. This is a really good test for them. It's an NFC East battle as well, which is gonna make it even more juicy. This Philadelphia Eagles team has looked absolutely elite this season, and the crazy thing about it is we were questioning this team extremely after their slow, sluggish start. They had that game in Brazil where it was a weird game. They got the victory. Then they had that narrow loss to Atlanta, the Saquon game, and then they were 1-1. And based on how it ended last season, a lot of people automatically wrote off the Eagles. They got that win over the Saints, which was a good turning point for them in the fact that that Saints team was 2-0 and looked amazing after those two games. They went on to lose 7 straight after that, but at that point, we thought that was a really good win. Then the Buccaneers, just collapse happened against the Buccaneers where they got absolutely destroyed. But then they had the bye week, and the bye week came at the right time, and they started peeling off wins. They were not that great, not that impressive against the Browns. Against the Giants, they managed to win 28-3, but I wasn't really that impressed. Then you started seeing that Bengals game. That was, my opinion, their most impressive win of the season. Going the way to Cincinnati in the dominant fashion that they did it, how balanced that they were. This Philadelphia Eagles team, number one, they're getting back to they're getting back to being more balanced, which allows Jalen Hurts to pick and choose his moments to push the ball downfield. Because when you're able to be more balanced, when you have a consistent run game with Saquon Barkley, who's had a tremendous season up to this point, despite dropping one game, despite dropping away a game. When you have that balanced offense, it allows Jalen Hurts to periodically push the ball down the field to Devontae Smith, to A.J. Brown. It opens up the offense when you have a consistent run game, and you have a run game that you can be reliant upon on the play call sheet. There's been times in the past that the Eagles have almost neglected the run, and Jalen Hurts is a really, really good quarterback. But part of what makes him special is the fact that he could take advantage of loaded boxes, and he can take advantage of those one-on-one matchups, and he can be a runner himself when need be. I think the Eagles have got back to that identity of where they were in the Super Bowl, of being balanced. They're playing some really good defense as well. I believe in the last since that bye week, they're allowing less than 20 points per game. They're allowing I believe what is the number? I know it's less than 20 points per game. I had it written down. I can't find it. But they're playing some good defense now. They haven't gone up against the best of quarterbacks. They played Deshaun Watson. They played Daniel Jones. They played Trevor Lawrence, and then they played Cooper Rush. They did have that one game against Joe Burrow in which Joe Burrow had a solid game, but they were able to limit what that Cincinnati Bengals team could do. They limited Jamar Chase to to 9 receptions for 54 yards. That will work. That will work. And I think Eagles have found themselves to be very, very balanced once again. So overall, in this one, I think the fact that Eagles have that experience, they've been in those big moments, and they've won NFC East and they've been to the Super Bowl. I think that will give them the slight advantage in this one with the pressures of any NFC East showdown battle. And also, I need to see a little bit more from the Commanders in terms of the big game, the big victory. Yes, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals like Philadelphia did as well, but the other teams that they faced off that had that have the pedigree, the quality to beat them, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were able to do them. They were able to get the they were Pittsburgh Steelers were able to get it done, and it says the Commanders have 3 losses. I forgot what was their third loss. I said the Commanders. I said the Buccaneers game. I said and then the Baltimore Ravens. Again, the 3 teams that they played that have legitimate rosters. The 3 teams won. You go back to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, Philadelphia as well. They've been taking advantage of bad football teams, but they've proven over this recent pedigree, over the Nick Sirianni timeline, whether you want to give them the credit or not, that they have the ability within the team to get those big wins against the big teams. They've done it before, and I don't think that's some pressure that they'll be afraid of facing. And I'm looking forward to this. I think this is a Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts battle. I think it's going to turn into a rivalry. I think this is a matchup that we're going to see for many years to come. They're in the same division. I believe that they're both going to be decade-long quarterbacks, at least on their respective teams, obviously barring any injuries or anything catastrophic or anything like that. So I'm really looking forward, to my opinion, a part 1 of a amazing series that we're about to get. I think this has the potential to be that next rivalry, and you don't see many really good interdivisional rivalries in terms of quarterbacks. We see the Tom Brady, Peyton Mannings, we see the Russell Wilson, Cam Newtons, all that. But we thought Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick could be that, but we didn't get that much. We didn't get that longevity. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this has the potential to be a great quarterback rivalry and team rivalry, the interdivisional rivalry. So I look forward to part 1.